Now, you just told me, Leanne Alie from
Yeah.
BBC Sounds, that you are a podcast babe.
Yes, I am.
And before that, you were a marketing babe.
Yes, I am.
What kind of babe are you going to be next?
I'll be a queen next. That's what I'll be.
So, what does it mean to be a podcast babe? What do you do at the BBC?
Okay, so currently I'm a development producer at BBC Sounds, which means I'm working on new podcast formats, working with new talent.
Podcast
What?
babe sounds so much better, doesn't it?
It does. I was like, why are you laughing at me? And then before that, I developed a program called BBC Sounds Audio Lab, which is all about commissioning programs from diverse creators.
We were talking about this before the red light went on, and you were saying that you found the traditional method of applying to BBC to get a program commissioned, you found was an obstacle to certain groups within the industry, or maybe groups that weren't in the industry but wanted to get in. Explain.
So when I first joined the BBC, I was inundated with people sending me pitches, emails, everything, with podcast ideas. And it was very clear that they didn't know how to pitch. And the thing is, there's a barrier to entry because the traditional route is that you have to pitch through an already existing production company. And if you're not already in the audio space, and if you're just a creator in general, even navigating that space can be really difficult. So we wanted to break down those barriers to entry and create a process that is more friendly to creators from all sorts of backgrounds to come and work with us and pitch ideas.
Because the traditional way has been that the production company has to already be registered in some way with the BBC. And now, what is the process like? Let's say if a young person living somewhere in the UK or wherever it may be has an idea for a BBC podcast, how do they go about pitching it?
So it's still the case that you can pitch through a production company, but if you're an individual, you can pitch through BBC Sounds Audio Lab, and our submission process opens every year. We've literally just had a round open, and all we ask for you is a written summary of your idea, plus a 5-minute audio clip to tell us what your show might sound like. And then from there, we shortlist internally, we interview, and we find who we want to commission.
And in the last round, you were telling me that you had something like 500 submissions, and you commissioned 6?
Yes.
How did the 6 do?
Brilliantly. So I can almost confidently say these ideas will probably not be commissioned anywhere else, and out of the 6 that we commissioned collectively, they achieved over 200,000 listens, which if you think, from people who are unknown talent, I think that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. And when you say they would not be, you say confidently they probably wouldn't be commissioned elsewhere because they didn't come from known talent.
It's not
Or
just
was it the content or the subjects or the themes?
I think it's all of the above. And the reason I say that is because one of the ones that we commissioned in particular, who was Michael X, Hamza, who created it, he actually had pitched everywhere else in the UK and then came to us.
Wow.
And his show got over 100,000 listens.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But that is such a testament of how well this method will work, that everywhere else said no, but then this route into the BBC, which normally you think would be the first to say no, and then you try elsewhere, that he hit it and it struck home. That's fantastic. What's next?
For me,
Well, just for what you're working on, and I'm sure that there's more to be done to evolve the method of people pitching and all that. What are you trying to tackle next?
so Audio Lab will keep going. I'm working on developing some new shows at the moment, and my thing is always, okay, no matter what I'm working on, who am I going to be working with, and how can I bring in diverse talent, both in front of and behind the mic. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just trying to make some great content with some people that I think are really talented that probably wouldn't usually get the opportunity.
It has been great talking to you, Leanne. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.